Steelbooks! We all love them, we all want them, but we can't always get them. Different regions often get different steelbooks, so it is always a hoot when we're shown ones that we can't get a hold of. And hey, when I featured a few of mine a couple of years ago, that was pretty well received. Now I have collected quite a few more of them since then, so how about I give you some pleasant background noise while you wrap your Christmas presents. Hello fellow gamers, and well, let's take a look at a few more steelbooks from my own collection. Okay, so like the last time that I did this, I suppose I'd better start off with the most recent Pokemon one. This one is for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Now I believe this is a European exclusive, I'm not entirely sure, but every time I tried to look up details on this while I was researching it, all I could find was just a lot of Americans complaining that they couldn't get it. Now, this steelbook comes with the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Jewel Pack that was available over here in the UK. I got it as part of my pre-order, but I'm not sure if it's limited to just the pre-orders. On the front here it features both of the legendary Pokemon from this series of games, Dialga and Palkia, and you can tell here that a little bit of effort has been put into making these because you can see that the gems are shining under the light, as well as all of the flares shining off of them. On the back there's a simple but easily noticeable Pokeball design in front of a rather smoky background. It's mostly black and grey, but you can tell in the corners there that one corner is blue and the other is red, and both of these reflect the primary colours of the legendary Pokemon available in these games. On the inside there is a similar separation. Both sides of the inside have this simple Pokeball design at the top, but the left shows a sort of like jagged blue pattern in the background as if it were diamond, and on the right shows a kind of smooth reddish purplish pattern as if it was reflecting off of pearl. You can see here as well there are two card holders available in this case, as this came with the Jewel Pack, so you can store both of the games in the same case. Alright, this next one is the steelbook that came with Bayonetta and Bayonetta II when it released for the Switch. This, I believe, is a European and Japanese exclusive. In Europe, this came as part of the Special Edition, while in Japan it came in the bigger Climax Edition bundle. The case design here has been split in two, so you've got the design for Bayonetta I on the front and Bayonetta II on the back, both of them showing Bayonetta in her signature pose for each of those games. Now this was done because when this came out on the Switch, both of the games were re-released at the same time. Now there's no embossing on this book, but there is a glossy layer that's been applied over Bayonetta herself and the logo on the front and the back. On the inside it shows the gun designs from each of the games, colour coordinated to match the title that they featured in, red for the first game, blue for the second. And you can see here that there's only a single card slot. That's because the special edition that we got here in the UK didn't include a physical card for the first game, all we got was a download code, whereas the Japanese Climax edition did get the physical release. The next steelbook we have here is the one for Zelda Skyward Sword. Now this was a European and Australian exclusive, and well, we got it over here for pre-ordering Skyward Sword on the Switch. Straight away you can notice that the artwork used on the cover here it's considerably darker than what was used for the game's marketing when it first released on the Wii. And the detailing on it is nice, and you've got all these different characters. You've got Girahim, Fi, Zelda, Impa, Groose, and of course Link, all surrounding the Master Sword, and all of it's draped in a kind of purple mist. On the back you've got the recognisable Master Sword and Hylian Shield combo that's synonymous with the Zelda franchise, complete with a pale blue background. Now upon opening the steelbook you're greeted on the inside with a white and gold, or is it black and blue? But anyway, graphics symbolising the Gate of Time. And there's some rather nice detail put into that. Moving away from Switch steelbooks for a moment, we've got here a Wii U steelbook for StarFox Zero, which was also a European exclusive. Now this was available to everyone who pre-ordered the StarFox Zero first print edition, which also came with a copy of StarFox Guard. Now the front cover there, well yeah, it looks nice enough, but I think it can be better appreciated by opening it up fully. The R-Wing here, StarFox's main choice of aircraft, is split in two, with each half on the front and back covers of this steelbook separated only by the spine down the middle. Some of the details here have been given a fine glossy outline, so viewing under a light and seeing those glossy outlines shine back at you really gives off a sense of depth. But the rest of the outer case has been kept pretty minimalistic. All of the background is a simple metallic grey. On the front you have the StarFox Zero logo, and on the back you've got the general StarFox logo. But looking on the inside of the case reveals something rather different. The full inside sleeve, well, for want of a better word, features blueprints and detailed schematics of the R-Wing. Some of the text is in English, but most of it is in, well, presumably a Lilatian language, so not much information can be gathered from the text. But the wireframe images give off plenty of details of the aircraft. Now, this is all very nice, and it's the kind of thing that you might expect in a Haynes manual or something like that. To finish off, what you've probably noticed is that there are 2 slots for discs. That's because, again, this came as part of the pre-order, as part of the StarFox Zero first print edition, so it also included StarFox Guard on a separate disc, so you could keep both of the games in this same case. Now we'll switch over to Pokémon again for just a moment, this time the Steelbooks for Sun and Moon. Now some may be familiar with the Steelbook that came with the Jewel Pack edition of the original Sun and Moon release, but over here in the UK at least, you could get both of these games separately, and they each came with their own Steelbook. Each of these shows the main legendary Pokémon for each game front and centre. You've got Lunala for Pokémon Moon, and Solgaleo for Pokémon Sun. Now each of these have allowed the glimmer of the Steelbook to shine through the artwork in strategic places, such as the head and wings of Lunala, as well as Solgaleo's mane and tail. And both of them follow the colour schemes for each game, with the Sun and Moon ever present in the background of each Steelbook. The back of each of these show the Sun and Moon logos embossed in the middle. And as you might expect, both follow the same colour scheme as the front, with Sun featuring that golden orange colouring and Moon using a blue and purple twilight colouring. The inside of these Steelbooks though, they're a little less impressive and they're both the same. Both of them show an overview of the Alola region, along with a single cartridge slot in each. But of course, as we all know, a year later Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had come out, and this included yet another Steelbook. This golden one I have here came with the Jewel Pack, which included both physical games. This one features Lunala and Solgaleo on the front and back, but in their states when Necrozma had fused with them, making them much more powerful. The background on both sides show a simple Pokeball design, along with the appropriate Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon logos in the corner. The inside of the Steelbook is divided in a similar fashion, but this time opting for the game's original colour schemes. On one side you've got a red and orange colouring symbolising Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon has been shown off in a bluey purpley colour scheme on the other side. You can see very clearly that there are 2 game card slots here too, because, like I said, this came as part of the Jewel Pack, so you can put both games in there at the same time. We'll switch back over to the, Switch now, with a Steelbook that is available everywhere, but it did have a limited production life. This Steelbook commemorating the Flashback 25th anniversary is styled similarly to a Super Nintendo cartridge. Now I have to commend the level of detail that they put on the front of this, even though the colour is completely off deliberately. A lot of the ridges here are quite accurate, such as on the sides and around the label and along the bottom, and there's suitable embossing on here as well. But to be honest, my gripe with this is that it's based on the American SNES cartridge. Now since most of the world got SNES cartridges like this, it's clearly primarily aimed at the American market. And to add to that, they've used the artwork from the non-US release as well as the label. So it's a sort of weird mishmash of the two. Why would they even do it that way? I don't know. There isn't much to report on the back either. The embossing of the US cart style ridges are continuing all along the back here, with a brief synopsis of the game right in the middle. The inside of this doesn't reveal anything either, it's just the silver backing of the outer steel case in here. Now it has been custom made to accommodate a limited collector's card here. This one shows here that I've got close to maybe the first quarter of all of the releases that were made. There were only 40,000 of these made apparently. But that's about it. But really, there's only one reason why I'm featuring this steelbook in this video. It's an example of how not to do a steelbook. I mean, I'm sure the American market will go absolutely nuts with the cartridge design, but pretty much everything else on it is just off, you know? Just a bit off. Moving on to another steelbook now, and this is the one that came with Super Mario Maker 2. I got this when I pre-ordered it here in the UK. I can't remember if it was available anywhere else in Europe or Australia or anywhere like that, but hey, let me know in the comments if you got it as well. Now, the design of this is rather apt, as it shows off the main feature of Mario Maker. You can see a grid in the background with various different level elements placed in the foreground, such as the Piranha Creeper and the Boom Boom. The same is repeated on the back as well, showing off more of what you can do in the game. Now, this steelbook here, it's got a beautifully shiny blue background to it, but it is a little hard to see. Until you remove the protective sleeve, that is. Yes, similar to the new Game & Watches that we've seen recently, this also came with a protective sleeve around it that added, an overlay with extra detail printed on it. It is bog standard plastic though. However, removing it lets us see this lovely blue shine of the steelbook itself. Opening the case reveals a grid just full of different characters and items that you can use within the game. You've got the likes of the Koopa Trooper, Fire Flower, question mark block. All of these you can put in your custom level. Now we've come to the last steelbook in this little collection, the one that came with Daemon X Machina as part of the Orbital Limited Edition package. Now, that package was made available here in Europe and in Australia, and it came with the game, an art book, this awesome Arsenal statue, as well as this neat little steelbook. Now, the front cover, it shows an Arsenal mech overlooking the destruction in one of the cities on this mysterious planet where the game takes place. Now, the mech is what you would mainly control in the game, so its presence here is pretty significant. The shine on this steelbook, it allows the embers emerging from the ruins to really pop against this dark background. On the back, it's more of the same, with more destruction and embers rising from the rubble. There is some Japanese writing featured on the back here. Now, unfortunately I can't read Japanese, so I couldn't tell you what it says, but maybe someone could translate it in the comments. But I'm sure it's significant since they put it on here on the back. The inside of the steelbook though, it's a little more subdued, with the red and black artwork of the mech, the name of the game across the middle, and a big X right there in the centre. So there you have it, 9 more steelbooks from my own collection. Do you have any of these, or maybe you've been after them at one point? Let everyone know down below in the comments. And hey, while you're down there, there's always that subscribe button if you want to hear more. But I'm going to sign off now anyways, so thanks very much for watching. Please leave a like if you liked the video, and I'll catch you all next time.